Across centuries and cultures, the idea of a hero has shifted, from sword-swinging demigods such as Hercules to cunning voyages like Odysseus. Yet when the same heroic lens is applied to goddesses such as Isis or Demeter, heroism expands beyond conquest to include healing, sacrifice, and transformation. This month's podcast series on Mother Myth and Macabre explores how both gods and goddesses embody the archetypical hero's journey and how those myths still map the moral terrain of modern life. Welcome to Mother Myth and Macabre, and Happy Mythology March. Each week this month, we're journeying across time to uncover what ancient stories will teach us about being human. From gods and monsters to modern heroes, we'll explore how myths shape the way we think, act, and dream.
In today's kickoff episode asks the question at the heart of it all. What really makes somebody a hero?
And to help us answer that, we've invited a special guest, the embodiment of heroic myth itself. Welcome, the hero.
Thanks for having me. I've gone by many names. Hercules, Odysseus, even Thor. But the journey is always the same.
Let's start there. What is a hero?
A hero is someone who accepts the call to adventure, faces trials, and returns transformed. Not for glory, but for growth. Joseph Campbell called it a monomyth. It's not just action, it's transformation.
Now let's bring in your ancient side, like Heracles.
Heracles faces 12 labors, symbolic trials after the killing of his family. His story is about redemption. Campbell would call this atonement with the father.
What about Odysseus?
Odysseus shows cleverness. He blinds Polyphemus, not through strength but through strategy. But he is also flawed. His pride draws Poseidon's wrath. That's the archetype of a flawed hero.
So no matter what the era, it's about suffering, learning, and changing.
Exactly. Campbell's model fits both. Call to adventure, trials, abyss, transformation, and return.
What about modern times?
Today's heroes fight injustice, not monsters. Malala, Greta, health workers, they step up, sacrifice, and to grow. It's the same journey.
Then anyone could be a hero.
If you act with courage and purpose, yes. Myth is a map. We just have to walk it.
Welcome back to Mother Myth and Macabre. Today we're continuing our journey, not through the trials of heroes, but through the strengths of goddesses.
That's right. This episode is called The Goddess Reimagined, and we're diving into one of the most powerful figures of ancient myth, Isis of Egypt.
And to help us unpack her story, we're joined by Dr. Miller, who studied at Cambridge and who's also the curator of the Divine Archetypes exhibit in Australia.
Oh, thank you both. It's been a pleasure to be with you and talk with you both about Isis, a goddess who defines expectations.
So, Dr. Miller, Isis isn't your typical comic book hero, right?
Oh, that's correct. She didn't bet on monsters with brute force. Instead, she fought through the grief, devotion, and magic. After her husband, Osiris, is killed and scattered, she journeys across Egypt to recover his body and resurrect him.
That sounds like a quest straight out of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey.
Exactly. There's a call to action, trials, sacrifice, and the return. Isis also raises his son, Horus, in secret, preparing him to challenge. Set and restore balance. Her strength is subtle, emotional, spiritual, very different from heroes like Hercules.
It sounds like she rewrites what we think of as heroism.
She absolutely does. Carl Jung would place her archetype as the Great Mother, representing healing, fertility, resilience. And it's not the battlefield, It's the inner world she transforms.
And this isn't just Isis. Demeter from Greek tradition shows a similar kind of power, right?
Yes, when Demeter's daughter, Persephone, is taken, she grieves so deeply that the world stops growing. She negotiates with the gods to restore her daughter, and in the process, gives us the seasons. Incredible. She's another example of heroism, rooted in love, persistence, and transformation.
So, goddess might not fit the classic hero mold, but they expand it?
They show that heroism can be restoration, not just conquest. That sometimes the most powerful journey is the one we take through sorrow and back into strength.
As we close out this week's episode, I just want to give a special thank you to our friend, Dr. Miller. If you want to learn more about his life's work in curation, go to drmillercuration.com. Following us today, welcome to the final episode in this series where we step back and ask, what do all these myths really mean for us today?
We've talked about heroes and goddesses, trials and transformations, but at all the core, these stories are cultural mirrors. They show us what mattered to ancient people and what still resonates today.
Take Heracles. His labors weren't just epic challenges. They were about cleansing guilt, facing shame, and earning redemption. Those values echo in societies that prize justice and responsibility.
And Odysseus, who relied on intellect more than brawn, his story highlights cultural admiration for wit, adaptability, and perseverance, especially in the face of long-term struggle.
You're right. With the goddesses like Isis and Demeter, we see emotional resilience and restoration. They respond to trauma, not with destruction, but with healing. That tells us something about how femininity and power were intertwined in their cultures.
And those ideas aren't stuck in the past and modern myths like movies, books, and activism. We still see these archetypes: the sacrificial hero, the wise mother, the flawed but evolving leader.
Carl Jung would agree these deep psychological patterns universally human, and Joseph Campbell would say each of us walks a version of the hero's path, consciously or not.
These stories survive because they adapt, and because they tell us your struggle is ancient, your growth is mythic.
So, as we close this series, here's a question to leave with you. What archetype are you living today? Today's myths remind listeners that heroism is not limited to warriors. Heracles teaches redemption, Odysseus wisdom, Isis compassion, Demeter perseverance. All share what Jung called the journey toward psychic wholeness. As the series concludes, the hosts challenged their audience. Whose stories do we celebrate as heroic and why? To be a hero, one not need wield a sword. Only the will to walk toward what matters. And now, a word from our sponsors.